boss, the DJ of City Boy movement, ladies and gentlemen, you're all welcome to this press conference of the Coalition of Nigerian Youth. This is a coalition representing the vibrant and dynamic youth population of our great nation. And we unequivocally distance ourselves from the so-called ADC coalition led by Alhaji Atiku Abubakar, Peter Obi, David Mark, El Rufai, Amechi, Rahuf, Aregbesola, and other power-seeking individuals with questionable political trademarks. Well, we state the obvious that they are acting within their constitutional rights as enshrined in Section 40 of the 1999 Constitution, as amended. We hereby state categorically, number one, never will it be heard or read in the annals of our nation's history that in our generation, the Nigerian youths took a stand with the very same set of people who betrayed this nation over and over again and are willing to do so again if given the opportunity. We urge every well-meaning Nigerian to carefully scrutinize the character of each person in charge of this so-called coalition. From Alhaji Atiku Abubakar, who has a well-documented history of political opportunism, party hopping, and unresolved allegations of corruption and self-seeking ambition. He is a man of questionable character and the single most notorious factor in the collapse of the economy of our nation, considering the role he played as the head of the National Council of Privatization when he was Vice President of Nigeria between 1999 and 2007. Under his watch, companies like the Aluminium Smelting Company of Nigeria in Ikoroba, local government area of Akwa Ibom State, was brought to its knees. And we can go on and on and on of the negative touch of Alhaji Atiku Abubakar on the nation's economy. Alhaji Atiku Abubakar has remained the one who has ruined lots of lives and destroyed destiny in this country due to his greed and his personal interest. I would like to cite the example. I am from Akwa Ibom State, and I happen to be a grandson in Ikorobasi local government where Ascon, Aluminium Smelting Company of Nigeria, was located. It was one of the best of its kind in Africa and one of the highest paying organizations in this country. With the touch of Alhaji Atiku Abubakar, that organization was brought to its knees. And a plant that was built for over $3.3 billion was sold to friends of Atiku Abubakar from Russia for a measly sum of $230 million. What more can we consider as a clear factor of greed in play? This is not the kind of person we want to allow into our lives again as our leader. Talking about Peter Obi, this is a man whose only legacy to the people of Anambra was the investment of state resources in his personal beer manufacturing company, his alcohol business. And he has, according to the Honorable Minister for FCT, he has proven his love for alcohol such that while pretending to live a frugal lifestyle, he spends millions of naira to acquire some of the exotic and luxurious bottles of liquor to serve himself and entertain his guests, while still pretending to us that he has only one shoe and one wristwatch. We cannot allow such pretentious and hypocritical characters to lead our country again. This is the same Peter Obi when he was governor in 2012. He budgeted the sum of $200 million, which was about $1.2 million, to maintain his vehicles in the government house. In that same 2012, he budgeted a whooping $2.6 million, which is $430 million to take care of his travel cost. And this is the same person that pretends he lives a very minimalistic lifestyle. Those are hypocrites. We cannot trust them with power. They have once been tested, and they have failed at every opportunity. Are we going to talk about El Rufai, who is alleged to be the author and finisher of the Southern Kaduna genocide? I'm sure there are members of this public and press who are well abreast with what happened during the reign of El Rufai as Kaduna State Governor. We were aware of the number of people that died in Southern Kaduna while he promoted and kept on beating the drums of war against his own citizens. Is that the kind of people we want to trust again for leadership in our country? No. How can we ignore the sacrifices, the risk, the efforts of a president like President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, who has brought a lot of audacious reforms, even at the risk of being tamed evil names? He stood his ground, he brought those reforms, and right now those reforms are paying off. The president has brought sanity to the Nigerian economic landscape, and as he raised the corruption-driven fuel subsidy regime and foreign exchange markets. Permit me also to mention just a few of the great strides of Mr. President. Number one, during the fuel subsidy regime, Nigeria paid subsidy for an average of 65 million liters of petrol every day, whereas the true consumption was below 10 million liters. You can imagine the wide gap that was being swallowed by corruption. And we were borrowing money in this country to pay fuel subsidy. So people were there in their little corners eating and embezzling funds for fuel subsidy. The president came in, and in day one, he canceled that corruption. Are we going to talk about how we have been able to save money from this fuel subsidy removal? And right now, state governments' allocation have tripled by over 300%. Local governments have been given autonomy, meaning that power has now been returned back to the people. That means you and I, we have the power, because the president has given us the power at the grassroots level. Are we going to talk about the unification of the exchange rates? If we want to talk about the fraud that took place while we were operating a dual exchange rate market, we will spend 24 hours and we will still have more to talk about. Are we going to talk about how we were paying $1.5 billion, not naira, every month in this country to subsidize dollar, so that some people can have enough foreign exchange to send their girlfriends abroad? Are we going to continue wasting our common patrimony in that way? Those are the days that Atiku Abubakar and co want to take us back, but we will reject it as Nigerian youths. In 2023, we had a budget deficit of about 6.2% of our GDP, indicating a very high revenue shortfall. But in 2024, between January and April, we recorded about 5.2 trillion in revenue. But between January and April 2025, this year, our revenue has increased to 6.9 trillion naira. That is a very good one by our presidents. This is over 40% rise from the revenue of just 1 year before. What more other indices do we need to see that the president is working? Let's talk about foreign reserves and trade surplus. In 2022, before the president came in, our foreign reserves stood at about $8.19 billion. But as at June 2025, 2 years after Asiwaju took over power, our foreign reserve has moved from $8.19 billion to about $38.45 billion. That is over $30 billion in 2 years. What will happen when we allow the president to continue in 2027? As of January 2025, the CBN recorded a trade surplus of about $2.2 billion, representing 107% increase from what was obtainable just a month ago, a month before that January, which was December 2024. This is a product of excellent governance. Our debt to revenue ratio dropped from 95%. That means for every revenue we made in this country, 95% went to debt servicing. But we have successfully brought it down to about 65% under President Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Are we going to talk about the tax reforms, which has given more financial power to the low-income earners, reducing the tax volume, and absolutely cancelling taxes for people that are earning below 80,000 naira in this country, and reducing the tax volume on entrepreneurs that are operating in the SME world? Are we going to talk about how the president has empowered the vulnerable people? How about human capital development? Minimum wage has been increased within 2 years. The president took minimum wage from 30,000 naira to 77,000 naira. Our youth corpers are now earning 77,000 naira. We are youth, so this means a lot for us. If you look at the group of people that are earning within this range, they are all young people. So the president cares about young people. Is this the kind of president we want to push out of power? No. By people who had the opportunity to do these things but refuse to do it. Right now, our oil production has been boosted from what it was. Right now, we are producing 1.74 million barrels every day, meaning that more revenue is coming into the country. There is more money that is being used to pay off our debts. Right now, are you aware that we are no longer owing IMF? All this because of one man, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. If we want to talk about the things he has done, are we going to talk about infrastructure renaissance? The Lagos to Calabar Coastal Highway, the first phase has already been completed and commissioned. The second phase is ongoing. Work is going on assiduously, and work is moving to other parts of the country. Are we going to talk about the railway? Look at Abuja today. The last time I was in Abuja was about 2 months ago. I came back and I could not even find the way to my apartment because everywhere is changed. Because of one man, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. El Rufai was Minister of FCT. What did he do? Demolition. These are people with no track record. These are people with no track record. As young people who will stand against them, we are going to resist them, and we are going to engage our resources, our strength, our vigor, our voices to resist them. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has been a blessing to this nation. And the only set of people who would want to take this blessing from us are those who hate progress and stability. Am I right or wrong? These are the people who are not comfortable that they are no longer eating money of about more than 55 million liters of fuel every day. They are no longer eating subsidy money. They are no longer making money from the dual exchange rate market. That is their problem. That is their grievance. And we are not going to allow them to use our head to make money. We are going to reject them immensely. We will not allow them to take us back to the years when $20 billion would miss from NNPC accounts without a trace. As if $20 billion is 1,000 naira that can just go missing. We are not going to allow them to take us back to those years. We are not gullible. We will not join this coalition that is led by a group of greedy, manipulating, and self-serving people whose only grievance against this administration is that they've not been allowed to continue to destroy our beloved nation. We are the youth. We are the future of this nation. And we are the gatekeepers of our great country. As such, we arise to seize this moment to unequivocally stand by our president and the good work he is doing for our great nation. We will not allow the buccaneers and the scavengers to threaten the progress we are enjoying. Unlike the so-called ADC coalition, we are not a headless mob where everybody over there is a leader. Everybody is an aspirant. Atiku Abubakar is an aspirant. Peter Obi is an aspirant, El Rufai is, everybody there is an aspirant, including Amechi. So we are not like that. But we have been able to, on time, identify who is going to lead us. Meaning that on time, we are going to make progress. And on time, we are going to put the needed structures that is involved in galvanizing the youth population of this country to support His Excellency President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. And right now, we have declared that as Nigerian youths, we will trust President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to lead us to our El Dorado. We will support the president regardless their attacks, regardless their propaganda, whatever they want to do, we will resist it and support the president. Whatever attacks and machinations they want to make against the legislature of the Nigerian Senate, we are going to resist it and support the Senate President to continue supporting the President to deliver good governance for our people. The Senate President has been able to partner with the executive. That is why we have the tax reform bills today. That is why we have other life-touching bills that have been signed into law by the President to help alleviate the current reality that is bothering our youth population. Should we not support these gentlemen? Should we not? So from now, henceforth, we are warning the coalition led by Atiku and Peter Obi. This is a stern warning in very strong terms that although they have their own constitutional rights to assemble, but we are going to, should they attempt to mislead the Nigerian youth, we will resist them. We will mobilize a massive youth action against them. Should they intend to use their sinister behaviors to distract the Nigerian youth from what the president is doing for the youth, we will mobilize massively to resist them. And from now henceforth, as we have all allowed them to exist, let them exist without the Nigerian youth. The Nigerian youth are taking a stand against their coalition, and we urge them to avoid us completely. Those in favor say hi. Hi. There is nobody against here. So the ayes have it. Yes. Thank you very much.